What have you found? And also, do buy the books. There may be teachings in them. A novelty dice maker? Well, spit it out. Why does she need the dice? For some kind of sorcery? Sometimes they use the ankle bones of sheep. I don't understand. If it's not her, then where is...
The narrative she's built herself. It does need tearing down. She's squeezing on the pendant too tight. A drop of blood in. To hell with it. Perchance you ought to just lie, sire.
Too many inconsistencies. What kind...
Good luck persuading her. Some people can rationalize anything.
Yes, because her business consists of... I see that you've fallen for her Thank you for nothing. Please, do buy some books, or be on your way.
There was never any other way this could have gone. She's just too far gone.
I am sorry we had to disappoint you, ma'am. Can we go now?
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist? Yes. The armor was produced by Fairweather in their facilities in Bétancourt, sur la Clé in 42. It was part of a special order for Corps de Pharmacie, a security firm contracted to protect the interests of Oranese pharmaceutical companies in the Seminine conflict. So, it seems the armor went to Seminine. That's where the paper trail ends, though. Even the firm has proven difficult to track. Corps de Pharmacie has been renamed several times over in the years since the armor was issued. The most recently registered firm that the ICP has been able to connect to the CDP is a military contractor called Trinell, and the one before it was Downwell. I think they might be the same contractor.
A suit of armor like this would have been manufactured with a particular person's physique in mind. You should ask for whom this suit was fitted.
Yes, but the ICP tends to be reluctant to share private sector records. I could try to talk them into it, though. Sure. Call back tomorrow. Hopefully I will have more information for you then. Not yet, but I was able to convince the database people to sub 57.
In the cabin, snow covers the white on blue police livery of the motor carriage. The white colors nearly meld. Do something important? This is a Caprice Canema with its air-cooled, rear-mounted 12. The high center of balance is due to a quite steep price tag. It is very unusual to see one in police.
You want to take a closer look? Yes.
It's nice and all, but why so modest? Put some zing into it. Flare helium headlights would improve the range and quality of the visual field a lot.
Actually, I have a pair at home. Just haven't gotten around to fitting them yet. I need to lay some wiring for the ballast first. Maybe. Yes, definitely.
And means no.
130.
I reckon that's a 7-liter V12. Man, that's got to be a major advancement over the KR18GU engine on the old Caprice 40.
7.2. supercharged. 100.
I reckon, man, that
Yeah, you know it? Yes, that's right. I'm very impressed that you know these things.
I'll die before I squeal, pig.
Your body betrays your degeneracy.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
You have succumbed to Al-Ghul. You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al-Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the... No, you don't.
does this remind you of someone? The guy down there?
Begging for help. You gave, you don't. You will be superseded.
It is, baby.
There is a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the harbor.
We still need to get into the harbor. There's an interview to conduct.
Try the jump, up there on the roof. It'll be worth it, else there is little choice but to figure out a way to...
Last we saw, your race was being superseded. Bring you to you.
There may be a peaceful solution to this. You could internalize Measurehead's race theory. He would take you as one of his own. Well, not as such. What you do with a mastery of advanced race theory is up to you. You could reject the findings, sure, or accept them and become an advanced racist. tarpaulin cloak with possible RCM markings is still caught on the railing. Nope, no. That's...
Sure. Just be careful, okay? Looks like you almost...
The tarpaulin cloak with possible RCM markings is still caught on the railing. No. The tarpaulin cloak with possible RCM markings is still caught on the railing. As you leap in the air, a chilly breeze engulfs you, sharpening your senses. Ankles tingling from the tension, blood roaring in your ears. You are ready for your rendezvous with the concrete pavement below. As the concrete floor welcomes you, you realize it's been a while since you felt so alive.
I knew you could do it. My climbing down might not have been as disco as your jump, but at least we can explore the harbor now.
With your feet firmly planted on the concrete, the noise of the harbor. On second glance, someone has forgotten to properly close.
It's unfortunate for the Union to just leave their paperwork lying around like this.
The drawer opens smoothly. Hundreds of documents containing logistical data and the same materials. It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates. Whatever's hidden here is hidden well. Concentration isn't. It appears to be a to-do list. Remember, Leo, Everart's shoes. Special whirling borscht, water Everart's plants, sweep office floor, more banners. All items on the list have been crossed out and the note itself is crumpled.
Everard Clare, probably, the head of the Debarders Union. One of his aides must have left it. Nothing incriminating.
The special borscht seems a bit odd in the... What is so special about this borscht? Code for drugs? Booze? Blood? Remember, Leo, all items on the list have been the drawer slide. The front of this quote because Friesel was incompetent, foolish, and cruel. In short, the embodiment of everything the communards wished to overthrow. It's set to your disappointment, there aren't after right. The magazine is divided into several sections. International developments. Kunst. one cabinet, the drawers. This is the night watchman's booth. The name on the door reads, Rene Arn.
If you must. But please hurry. We are pretty...
Nothing incriminating catches your eye. The cabinet's, it's a black and white photo of a young...
Why did you take that picture of René? You're really interested in that old soldier. Not sure I understand your fascination.
Control panel with marsh on, arrête, off. Rustic marsh with a loud grind. The crane shifts overhead, moving a massive metal container through the air. With a surprise, the harbor sleeps as the strike rages in the distance. The crane can rest again, now that its purpose has been. The rustic, a faint smell.
I can't see how that was worth the wreckers, except for seeing the crane in action, which I admit was satisfying.
Before you stands a cargo container.
You do? Because I don't. There are a million containers here. Why are you fixating on this one? It's a cargo container. We are not here to interact with
You attempt. To your left, the lieutenant considers your actions with some puzzlement. No reply. The knot produces a hollow ring of metal. Doesn't sound like there's anything inside the container. Why are you even trying to open a door with rhetoric?
Because what wasn't an option? Are you satisfied, detective?
Container, I'll turn ya night.
The lyrics to this container song are being made up. At the accent.
Container, used to...
Before you is a walrus of a man seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised. With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says with a mixture of expectation and impatience, well bottled.
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat. I'm Everard Clare, head of the Debarders Union here in Martinez. I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up.
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture device.
You go ahead, detective.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. I'll do my best. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name.
Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a civilized manner, as equal.
It's nothing. Yes, that's probably right. It's nothing. Forget about it. Phil.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another. So tell me, how can the head of the Debarder...
The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your backside.
Oh, by the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no manners. This should take care of that nonsense. It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with a cafeteria manager. Go ahead, take it.
Wow, that's 25 real. That's good money. You need it.
Yes, I know Lawrence. He's a real character. No union man in him. A real piece of work, that boy.
With a grin, he points to the checker game. It's like you're on a game show. At least don't thank him for it.
Is there anything you'd like to say to me?
No.
Cool. I wouldn't go that far. Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hand.
His slug-like lips move, but the world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only 2 words escape its gravitational pull. When he said, "Don't worry," he actually meant, be very worried.
Are you all right, Harry? You seem anxious. Don't be. It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a
It was loaded. There were 2 bullets in it. You always keep at least 2 barrels loaded. God, you're sweating. Your knee is jerking. You're about to cry, aren't you? You're about to cry because you...
Mr. Dubois, you don't...
What is this, Mr. Dubois? He keeps repeating. What?
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry! Mr. Dubois!
Maybe you could use your hands somehow, in a kind of throw-in motion, like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back at him. He's Mr. Dubois.
Don't be dramatic. I can see...
What an odd demonstration of... you got me, Harry. I don't even know what.
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Quick, here's your window. Get yourself together and ask him questions. It is about time to stop embarrassing yourself. Questions will help you regain some of your lost dignity.
Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that... I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need... But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, if we could just calmly talk, exchange...
Yes, that sounds good. Let's...
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines. Incredibly talented at opening doors.
I'm not sure I understand. If you're asking us to break down someone's door...
Come now. I just need you to go open a little door for me.
An excellent opportunity presents itself, sire. You could win the trust of the arch-liar. Pretend to play into his hand. Then, should you wish, bend his efforts towards your own.
Fantastic, my friend. You can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana's like a free agent in the Union. Special operations. Hardened socialist. A real free thinker, too. He'll tell you, just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door. Of course. Let us dispatch with the formalities. You call... My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you? What are the odds of that?
I think the odds of that are very low.
It might be a good idea to hide your confusion. I mean, see what his game is first.
So good to hear that, Harry. Apparently my sources were wrong. However, if you did have a spot of memory trouble, I could help you out.
Words flow like a river of honey from his lips. I guess word has already reached him. It's just a brown folder. You can't make out what's written on it.
Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents?
Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity.
Don't just jump to the folder. That's not smart. Shows you're on the edge. Do some probing first.
Well, Harry, if I were to sum you up in one word, it would be apologetic. Well, you sure come off as very confident in all our interactions, Harry.
He's probably just making a guess based on your recent activity in Martinez.
Family? Harry, you're not a family man. There's not one peep of family in here. Unless you think you're a family man. Do you strike yourself as a family man, Harry? Well, yes. I'm sure you're going to make one little boy or a girl very happy and proud one day, Harry. Ah, this? My friends in your organization gave it to me.
This translates into, haha, you guys are so corrupt.
I find that very
I'm afraid this is meant for Union eyes only, Mr. Kitsuragi. I'm sure you understand. Please continue, Harry. It's Harry. Harry Dubois. No, I'm really not. You are Harry. Don't be silly, Harry. Harry Dubois, that's a real man's name. Mr. Kitsuragi doesn't seem even slightly empathetic.
As you look at the folder, Everard covers it with his hand and pets it. He's hiding it from you because it's not a real RCM folder. It's just another one of those brown folders you saw in the file cabinet.
Okay, Harry, you got me. This is from the Census Bureau, not the RCM. Those Census Bureau people are absolutely corrupt.
He got the name from the Census Bureau, and everything else from you.
Yes, Mr. Kitsuragi from the Census Bureau. Like I said, now I'm actually a very busy man, so is there...
That means he doesn't really know anything about you. A pity. The mystery of you will have to remain.
Yes, that's what I said. Try to keep up, okay? Let's move on. Yes, your lost gun. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone. Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that. It's just...
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage.
Yes, thank you for the hot tip regarding your lost gun, Harry. My men have indeed. Now please, let the profession...
It did not come as a surprise to him. He might actually not be bullshitting.
Damn it, Harry. That's exactly what it means. I'm only kidding, of course.
Of course. I understand. We help you, you help us.
Harry, honestly, I'm just relieved you didn't get a hernia. A man your age... Yes, Harry. Anyway, I assure you, I am a very... My dear Harry, there are literally millions of... Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch. Time is a precious...
Smooth talking. Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container. You should at least try convincing it.
Wait. You need this to get in and out through the gate. Here, you're one of us now. A real red and white union man. Take care.
Before the cargo container. Its drawer has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it's...
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go.
He does not so much as glance at the object.
Stop showing me your pathetic cup.
He had nothing to do with it.
So,
You've been in there, he means. talked to the boss man too, probably.
It's but a rest area on the path leading across open plains. Right. You talk to the boss, eye to eye, like men of the plain. If you have any more questions, I'm set to talk. A key, huh? What door is this key supposed to open? Oh, say no more. I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say. I'm not so sure. What you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the whirling in rags. That's all I know.
Okay, but where did you get the key from?
The janitor gave it to me. Nice fellow. We talked about life and things that really, truly matter. None of this mess we're in. This jiving and juggling. I'm more of a philosopher.
He means he's not going to tell you, cause he doesn't know. But he will shoot his mouth off with you now that you're working forever.
Looking for something?
Still here.
Fuck does Kuno care? The fuck about it? Kuno's fuck.
He's trying to hide the fact that he doesn't know.
Kuno knows all kinds of shit. Kuno doesn't give a shit about the armor. That fucking had one thing majorly wrong with him. Do you remember how he looked? Fucking growth hormone shit. He's a giant. The armor's... Kuno doesn't give a shit about that freak armor. Kuno threw that shit away. Kuno tried to get the helmet on. It was too big. Kuno kicked that shit in the sea, rugby style. That shit means nothing to Kuno. Yeah, that shit means nothing. You wanna fuck on someone about that armor? Go fuck the mustached union fuck. The jolly troubadour shit at the gates. Yeah, cock and boot. You know that jolly union cow fucker came around talking about...
Yes, you met him at the gates. The one with the boots and the jolly smile.
Yeah, he's the one you want to talk to. He's fucking crazy about that armor shit. Coming here, pretend...
Curious, my liege. Why did Kuno feed you this information?
Yeah, Kuno's doing charity today. Kuno Day. Kuno feels so...
Still, seems suspicious. He may have it in for that guy. Or you may be paranoid. That is also a possibility, sire.
You're get lost.
He's on your crime scene, bossing you around. And he's been here for some time too. This is where he hangs out. You have to get more out of him. He could be useful.
No, Kuno! He's off.
He'd rather die than work with the just.
Kuno doesn't.
Is this about the questions again? Wow. I didn't know you worked for the Union, sir. Anything else I...
No, you don't work for the Union. The Union work. That was easy. Worryingly so. Blow the whole thing on speed and gin right now.
Descent has only worsened since I last saw you. Racists are generally not very good examples of their race.
Welcome to Revachol. You hear him, he must think redheads are immigrants.
I am.
The drawings are precise and look true to their pseudo-scientific ambitions. One thing, however, it is not entirely free of throwbacks in the phylogenetic tree.
Correct. I am.
You pick up on something artificial in his tone, like he's putting on an act. This is unlike him. He is usually more himself.
The hardy man. Now leave me be. Fine.
Interesting.
Don't be vulgar. White or not, Mr. Clare is a man also. To serve is noble. Jam. Individualism. You have... Of course, I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the inner... I can see we are the future. I am a descendant. No. I'm from Couronne. You have heard enough about...
I think this racist is better than the last. But the next racist...
That will be the...
He will grant us 3 wishes.
Your pedomorphic friend has quick wits. A protruding occiput and...
The lieutenant doesn't...
You should keep him close.
Hello, wandering man. How can I help you? The little boy had it good on his promise. To get me into trouble. To sick the pigs on me, pardon the choice of words.
What happened?
I was asked to look into that armor situation. Official Union probe, you know. Track it down, see who took it.
Did you?
At first I thought, why not? Maybe the pieces can feed the strike. Buy us a few more days under the sun, you know? So I went to this boy. He said he'll make me his prison bitch. He's got eyes everywhere, and the cops in his pocket, and he's the king of serves me right for doing menial footwork. I dropped that probe right then and there, and it still got me into trouble. One bad move is all it takes. I learned that people don't want to talk to a drunk Union man about some armor.
What else?
Not much. Technical stuff mostly. That was the interesting part. I did some research into this armadura. Let's say I have friends at the library. I didn't get into the material science, just...
How does it come off?
In parts. 4 in total. The helmet was the first to go. The kid says he tore it off and kicked it into the sea. I believe him. So, as I count, there are 2 parts missing. The gauntlets and the cuirass. This is where I left off. Too much hassle. I guess you won't be collecting them all then. That's less work for you at least. Oh, they're just gone. They don't exist anymore, if they ever did at all. Forget about them. I did.
I agree, officer. Let's focus on the hanging.
Nice. From what I learned, it's a minor nuisance. It's all good.
He thinks, not yet. Better to get this business out of the way. Sweeter then.
No problem. If you see that kid, thank him from Call Me Mañana. Thank him for showing me the way.
Vigilance officer? What? Yes. The Debardiers Union pays me to stand vigil during... I'm an old man. Don't sleep more than a few hours every night anyway, and... She... is nobody. This...
The lady is Jeanne-Marie Beaulieu, and she sure as hell wasn't a nobody.
Yes, it does. Unfortunately, I wasn't working that night. Been on a 2-week leave. It's a private matter. Nothing to do with your investigation.
You see, officer, René is the kind of man would rather die than admit he needs medical assistance.
I'm fine, goddammit. No one. The boss has been on man since last Monday. There's no other guard.
No one has been guarding the
Yes.
Look, officers, the container...
The possibility of someone being in there is enough to discourage any ill-minded individuals.
Evrard created this job for René because he knows the Royal Carabiniers' pension of honor and PTSD.
Yes, yes, yes. Can we conclude the topic of my guard boost now? Yes, yes. Like I said, it would be up...
Oh.
Cocaine.
A superpower. Right.
Wow, you work hard. Oh, yes, you hustle. You're a provider. It's tough out there, but you keep it... Oh, yeah, like a horse, a workhorse. Look at yourself. You're a human pedometer. You must have walked 200... That is the sign of a hustler who never gives up. The world is harsh and people are evil. A little. You make money. It ain't easy, but you do it. Day in and day out. Sure. Are you rich? That's right. You work harder than anyone. You almost rode yourself to the grave, and you're still practically a hobo. Why is that? Because of the taxes. G-Man's got his jam-covered sticky fingers in your pocket. Aren't taxes almost non-existent in the Gotham estate that is Revachol? You and I both, but they got those indirect modes of 98% of all your money. What are you not sure about? They're milking your nipples till they bleed. Can't you see? Aren't you sick and tired of having bloody nipples? What are you, a racist? Don't be a racist. Be a cool immigrant, ultra-liberal free market advocate. Ride or die. This guy's appropriating the emerging Boogie Street lingo as part of his sales pitch for the free market economy. Yeah, ain't it cool, Ryder? Ain't it street?
Fuck does Kuno care? So? Fuck, okay. Kuno's a giver like that, yes?
Kuno sent your fat ass running around like
Look, pig. Kuno sent you to rough some people up. Kuno played you. That happened. Now you and Kuno should move on. You got fucked. You got fucked, pig. After this shit. You better have something real interesting to say if you want to...
Yeah, real interesting.
Kuno doesn't...
This is a wall on the side of an apartment building. striking woman leans against the cat.
Good morning, officers. Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM. Nothing, honestly. I've said it to every drunk in town, and you're the first one who's responded.
Relax. She meant it in jest.
I'm glad to see you here.
Like steel. There is strength there. If she wanted...
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM?
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode.
It happens quicker than a shooting star. But did the lieutenant just wink at you?
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation. And the full cooperation of... That's the man who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question. Better not tie the fourth day to the bat's day on this. I hope there is something else I can help you with. Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am... and this is my...
Oh, and what happened to yours, Detective? I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode? I can't hear you, darling. Speak up, please. Oh, dear. Some kind of encephalopathy. I do believe you, naive as that may sound.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he...
Of course, I simply...
She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement. She's a negotiator. Just float a favor at her. Insinuate.
I will be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see some...
You're in, but expect her to drive a hard...
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is an open secret in Martinez. The Union controls the terminal, so it goes...
They're profiting from this trade.
The company has tried looking into this matter before, to no avail. Perhaps someone with your authority, or... You can recover your badge, though if I'm...
Detective, a word in private before we continue. This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective. Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and you know, not volunteer us to be her henchman. This woman is running circles around us.
Maybe this is all her plan. She might have heard about you.
I wouldn't go that far. Her reaction did come off as sincere to me. I think... Oh, that would be fantastic, but do we have the time?
The situation might have changed drastically by the time...
You could request a new one from the station, but that would literally take months.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? Not an umbrella, I hope. I don't need one myself, you see. Very rugged. Good choice. Now, I suspect you had questions. Nothing like talking to pass a rainy day, am I right? Of course, Detective. You're back. Good. What we...
There was a touch of discomfort there.
The Pines, and that is...
The Wild Pines Group, Son Baptiste, Elysium, an unknown...
Why, thank you.
She nods.
Why, yes I am. The boat? No, it's a pleasure craft. My sloop.
I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do with the murder we're investigating.
Good. Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets. I believe the...
And how are the talks going?
They're not.
Wait, she just admitted that the lynching and the strike are connected.
Now they won't even let me into the harbor. There's a 2-meter 20 racist behemoth. Yes, I believe there is a connection. But that's a subject for later. Yes, let's say...
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago.
But the strike began in December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
Heavens, no.
Ludicrous even. It's meant.
The scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock, come to plead for...
Don't let her answer it herself.
If these strikebreakers were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you.
It's implied. She's open to discussing this matter with you at a later occasion.
They're a leaf every word.
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
Then you might also like their other slogan. Demand democracy. Personally, I agree. It lacks the pizzazzo of everyone. It's quite simple. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals. Oh, I'm not sure. And now...
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the boyer at the gate.
This checks out.
Mr. Clare, fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see. Yes. Extremely. Everard Clare is a man of the... Of course.
If you were to prick him with something sharp, you could see it oozing out.
Oh, heavens, no. We get a... He is the most... Yes, it's how they circumvent the term limits, you see. With a The débardeurs organize labor at its best, as they say. Then some...
A mob. The débardeurs...
Refreshingly honest. And your opinion, detective? If I may ask. I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the débardeurs union is... Indeed. And a hungry one. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated. I'm glad...
Disappear.
Yes.
This forewoman, her name?
Sadly, the company records do not even give an downright haunting. The point of...
Thank you for your concern, ma'am.
Of course. How else can I help? You have? And how did you like Mr. Clare? Oh, come on now. He has his uses. How else would he have stayed in power all these years? Or with corruption? That's how he...
The position of my unusual colleague does not reflect official policy.
Of course. How could I...
Intellectually speaking, it would be quite interesting to tell her. She'll like you for it.
Oh. That's so... helpful.
The lieutenant looks at you, and you can sort. He's able to contain the anger.
Unconventional police officers sometimes lose their guns.
Incredible. Simply incredible. And how is it going? Has this detecting produced a gun? Did he now? Well, then it should be any day now. Unless, of course, he's...
Perhaps he is.
Of course. Until then, is there anything...
A sturdy metal door. The door rattled. The door.
Stop banging on the door! I'm not letting any more strangers inside. Doesn't matter who I am. Now go on, get out.
From within comes the faint sound of a broom sweeping across the concrete floor.
Police? Everyone knows the police don't come round here. No. Go check the
Backyard door. There must be another entrance to the east.
Can't get involved in this.
This must be it. The basement door is weather-worn. The copper nails holding the upholstery in place have turned the door. In fact, it's oddly silent in the yard around you. You try to be as silent as you can. Finally, the door unlocks. There might be important information in the apartment. This is the flag of Revachol, the suzerainty. This isn't just one, it's an optical atmospheric anomaly. By old-fashioned, the lieutenant does not bow to the flag. It A row of mugs sits on the shelf. Each one depicts a human figure. A dark-skinned woman grinning amidst mysterious symbol, a little ring. There's something disdainful in the way the curves and lines of the bodies were drawn. It looks like the artist is celebrating diversity, but underneath, he's just making fun of these people. You ain't gonna change someone's mind, but the lieutenant picks up one of the mugs, then puts it.
I'm beginning to feel better about breaking into this man's apartment.
Yes, your broken mug friend would feel very much at home here.
There's the missing tin soldier. Whoever lives here might have used the Whirling's container to dump his trash. And now they've drawn the ire of the Union.
An interesting little clue. Let's see where this goes. Clues, perhaps you should break into apartments more often.
Who knows? I'm not expecting too much from these clothes in the trash lead.
You could ask Everard who this person is. Once
Are you trying to sneak up on me? Come to slit my...
apparently, she doesn't like people standing behind. Logic error. She is not sleeping right now.
Pig's come to take me out. Trying to snuff me out. Don't get fucking clever with me, pig. up on me.
This coin-operated viewer is the metal feels cold.
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you?
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already sat on that chair. I'm very glad to hear that, Harry.
He's trying to figure out if you're lying.
You're right, Harry. You only had to unlock the door, which you did. So we're all...
He was testing you, and you succeeded.
Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. Real police work is gonna start happening now. I promise you, Harry, this is gonna be good. By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Wild Pines. Sent to scare us. Another violent measure of the top hats against us flatcaps. Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending in armed mercenaries.
You mean our victim?
A security contractor? Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship, and they send hired killers to mow us down with machine gun fire.
He performs a motion as if spraying.
I'm talking beasts, hardened killers. Everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant. Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container. About my fun container? It's a hoot, Harry. Who knows? Maybe you'll be... But enough about me and my container. The killers the company hired, I think there were 3 of them. All hardened commando types. One of them got downright suicidal. Getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him. That's your boy. The one who likes hanging out and trees.
By negotiator, you mean Joyce?
Harry, what you need to realize is, we dock workers are not pushovers. We got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, we push to kill. There's a militant wing inside the Union. A group of people whose duties don't involve manual labor, but peacekeeping in the neighborhood, making sure everything runs smoothly.
That sounds a bit like organized crime.
They're like you guys. Idealistic people who...
Again, that sounds like organized crime.
So these idealists...
One day Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, "Boss, socialist democratic fervor drove us to take..." He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him. I gave them 2 weeks paid leave and told them to lay low to avoid retaliation.
Aren't you worried we might arrest them for this?
Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinez boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in. Besides, I sent my lawyer girl to look after them.
He places a lot of faith in that lawyer girl. Perhaps this is a tactical error. Anyway.
So they shot him?
He was shot in the head before he was...
How odd. I don't know what to say, Lieutenant. They told me they hanged him. A hanged man is what I saw when I took a look into that yard.
It's impossible to say if he's telling the truth.
What I do know is, the case is in safe hands. If anyone can get to the bottom of this shot and hanged man, it's my 2 little policemen. Godspeed, policeman. Oh, they are simply old fear.
Interesting. Who's second?
They're almost all of them great guys. Work with them.
He's betting on them being useless to you.
How do I know? Last winter, these guys...
So you believe the scabs were organized by the security contractor?
You said it. Hell, one of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial elephant. Boys like that don't just happen. Absolutely, Harry. Absolutely. Racist mugs in the trash and in the apartment? You guys are just light years ahead of me. I have so much confidence in the ability of your organization.
Yes, yes. Do you think this whiz...
Oh, no. I don't cross paths like that. All I want is for you to succeed in your investigation.
Oddly, it seems to be true.
Believe me, Harry, he's a nobody. Just your basement variety nobody. Can't imagine him being connected to a high-caliber case like... But he does live nearby. Maybe it's a pedantic weasel. Fascists are known to be neat freaks. I feel like a real detective right now, Harry. Am I getting this right? Of course, Harry. I'm not a real police officer. You are. Oh, Liz...
Wait, the girl by the whirling, who was keeping an eye on you. Is he talking about her?
Oh, and she also really likes gardening, I hear. In March? Strange. Anyway, let's move on. But of course, it's the... Also, Harry, here's 5 real. Oh, I wasn't offering it to you, just holding it out there. But I'm willing to share information. Was there anything else? Was it a good talk? I don't know what happened, Harry. I wanted you to feel like Mr. Martinez. And of course, I also wanted you to find your gun. But it's like... Yes, Harry. It's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of the left. I want to, but I just can't...
A man of the left? So you have to be a social democrat? He's been hurt too much in the past by men who aren't social democrats.
You're saying it, but I don't believe you. You know how it is, company snitches, agent provocateurs everywhere. I'm barricaded in this fortress of mine, and I need to get a message out.
And what would this entail?
Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper, and then mail it to my accountant in La Delta.
depends. I don't think what we just got from Mr. Clare was very useful.
But, he thinks, it's your call.
As I said, it weighs on me heavily. But once...
He's saying as little as possible, as vaguely as he can, deliberately omitting things.
I'm glad you are. There's a nameless little street on the coast, Harry, across the canal. There's a cul-de-sac there, a little village they're calling it. A gloomy place. You'll find it. I trust your detective skills, Harry. You bring joy to my heart, Harry. Such a pleasure to be working with you. You need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. The cul-de-sac is right past the pawn shop and across the canal. I hear there is some trouble with the waterlock, but they should fix it by... Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then, I'll know you're a solid socialist. What? Harry!
The reaction appears to be sincere, but it's impossible to tell with this guy, honestly.
You've hurt me, Harry. Me, a friend. I trust you, like I...
He's hiding his real reaction, but...
Thank you for your understanding. We will...
You too, Lieutenant. You know, I like you.
None taken. Do we have anything else?
Most certainly, Harry. By all means, Harry. Oh, that's very... One thing I wanna... We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her because you and I are such good friends and I'm helping you find your lost gun. I'm not a jealous guy. Vanish? Oh, did I...
Wait, there was no mention of a casserole from Joyce.
Harry, Harry, Harry. Do not fixate on this little matter. Me? Of course, I have no... Tell her about...
It is rather interesting to tell people things about each other, isn't it? It was nice telling him about her right now.
See you soon, Debard.
You take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 40 month there is no loophole. The simple truth is the current residents are going to lose their street access, and for the next 12 to 40 months, their lives will be dominated by constant construction noise right next door. Once the construction starts, it'll probably take a few months, a year maybe, for even the most stubborn occupants to get tired of living like this. After that, they'll sell their property for cheap and move out.
I should have seen it. Evrard probably has eyes on us, but we could try to get other people to sign this instead of those listed. Or you could forge their signatures yourself. By the time, however, we'll need access to the coast before we do anything. Evrard won't believe you got villager signatures if you can't even get to the village. You can try a forgery as soon as we can cross the waterlock.
The youth, it's going to be awfully close to the already existing buildings, almost wall to wall. Practically, this is either an ominous or cool architect. My money is on cool. Before the cargo container. There are clothes and
Don't be shy.
save the economy. That sounds.
Haven't you heard, officer? We've got to be economically conscious. Recycle your cash, keep it in circulation. Don't buy new things. Buy eco. Very cool.
You find the book.
Economical, but also trendy. Look firsthand. Buy second.
Something cold.
Good choice, officer. Mega sporty.
You see, as the name,
Happy shopping every year.
you feel a twitch in your index.
Don't shoot, officer. Have we got an arrest here or just a shakedown? Good one, officer. You're a funny guy. Now, what can I do for you? Then fire away, officer.
No need to dress this one up. Just tell him what you want.
Oh, okay. But why, officer? Ah, yeah.
Are you trying to ask for a bribe? If so,
Sorry, detective.
Hello again. How can I help you? Sure, let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling? Oh, no. I don't like those kinds of objects. A photic.
You have absolutely no idea what a...
I'm not purchasing any more clothing at the moment. Another time, Pat. Hello again. How? Sure. Let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling? Another time, Pat.
Can I help you? Got the 20 real? Good. You got the room for the night, but remember, you'll need another...
Just a moment.
She's agitated, judging from the way she keeps pulling at the frayed edge.
And there's no public phones nearby?
The closest phone booth is down the coast. Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am.
It's fine, I understand. Thank you anyway.
I'm glad to see you again, dear. Please don't. The union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get there. Or to the phone booth down the coast. The manager was vague about it.
Why would he be vague about phone problems? This is something to look into later.
To let the young woman who's house-sitting for us know that we may be delayed. Morel, my husband, I was also hoping...
A little missing persons puzzle might just be the thing to take your mind off the hangover.
Of course, sweetie.
Can I help you? Another thing. Great. Yes, and the phone company is taking its sweet time sending someone to fix it. It's not strange, it's inconvenient. Who told you that? Fine, yeah. It looked like someone had messed with the wiring. It was shortly after the hanging, but I don't know if it's at all related. Plenty of assholes. If you do find out who cut the line, though, yes?
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling height window. The hall, there's a little slide panel up there to let some air in. No need to open it in spring.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Oh, so you went and talked to my mommy, and now she's making me play with you.
And what's gonna happen if we don't? You're gonna go and tell on us?
I would, though.
Typical Bino Claude. Always. Everard sent word you two would be around again. That's the only reason I'm being...
But having Everard back you up like that did seem to have some effect.
Again.
Good one, Titus.
Yeah, lawman.
It's almost an anthropological sight, watching him try to...
Not in the arresting mood?
By your side, the lieutenant keeps his hand away from his holster. While the little rat-faced man reaches into his sleeve, there's a knife in there. Some of...
Wise move. About fucking time.
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling height window. The hawthorn, nothing. Just...
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Establish authority, yes. Authority. Feverish thoughts race through your mind. Did you already try the gun thing? I hear the gun thing is excellent, and it's great. You're probably right. The others are only there for filler, to make the gun thing pop.
Why?
This is not what he thinks it is. I'm afraid it's not what you think it is either. Yes, you. Stop talking out loud. You sound like you're
What in the name of...
But I don't want to give you my gun.
The fuck is happening, Titus?
Easy, Shanks. I want to see where this is going.
Merely what? Be careful, it's loaded.
Good. Now put it in your mouth.
What are you doing?
Genuine panic flies across the loot.
Fellas, you getting any of this?
We'll solve the case. Look at me.
Inside the small mechanism.
Yeah. Cause I saw.
You won't, man. His fucking balls ain't big enough.
He's not.
No. Kisses, kisses. No. Give it to Lieutenant Kitsuragi. It's not too late. You can still spin this as some kind of... There will be no...
Fellas.
No.
He's desperately...
What?
Acidic.
The fuck? Sammy.
Nothing. Give me the gun.
Dark? What the fuck was that, you...
I knew he was...
No. I still have my money on him. Sooner or later, he has that look.
Do not think your failed suicide attempt.
Again, it was a dark joke.
Yes. Get the serotonin running. Keep...
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time? What are we going to do to you? The Union isn't going to do anything to you.
Goddamn right.
If anything, it is the aggressive...
Just that we've talked to Evar Claire. We know who these men are.
Listen, you moral intern lackeys. You're a mob, enforcing the unlawful privatization of Revachol. 20 fat men in the Occident are stealing it all, and you're their bodyguards.
Fuck yeah.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders. Let's. I am not.
You could be, Liz. You could be anything. You could even be a model.
Even a mod? Glenn, I went to law school.
He's right. With a face like that, she could be on the cover of Le Debutante International. The cold look in her eyes speaks louder than words. It's not her.
Like I already told you.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
As you look around this room full of sweaty men, swearing, drinking, spitting out tobacco, does this look familiar? You believe the place was called Precinct 41. It was also filled with almost exclusively men, sitting on desks.
Huh? You got a problem with beer, now?
Not quite there yet. Push on.
Speak for yourself, buddy. We've been giving a shit for 10 years. Martin.
They don't know, man. They weren't here. We had 3 shootings a week, kids dead, fucking graffito everywhere. You cops haven't shown up since the 30s.
Congratulations on the graffiti removal.
So what? What do you want from me? We took care of that fuck.
Don't let him drink that. One more push. Quick.
Titus?
She stops mid-sentence. That's it. You got him. He's going to give it up.
You wanna help her, cop? Fine. I'm gonna let you. If you don't, if you question her, harass her, a freight train of pain.
What is her name?
Glacia. I'm on due. She's staying here at the Whirling in Rags. A real pretty one. Silvery jumpsuit. Blonde. That's I'm on due. With an O-U. He did it before we killed him. He's not gonna do it again. So what does it matter?
It would help if we establish a timeline.
All right. 2 weeks, maybe? I don't know. I need another...
Here you go, boss.
Relationship? There was no fucking relationship. He raped...
Was like that karaoke incident all over again.
Okay, enough. All of this is irrelevant to your stated investigation.
You don't know her. Good boy. Remember what I said. Freight train.
The door is closed.
Who is it?
Tired. Controlled.
This is the police.
Come on up. The door is open.
Sounds like it's coming from upstairs somewhere.
Yes?
This medicine cabinet is full. Pharmaceuticals line the shelves. Sheet up.
Anything of note?
Pill bottles. Necra. This is used to treat opioid overdoses. Always handy to have around.
Interesting. That's...
You could say he's on the lookout. Among some foreign, probably Messinian, or nothing of note. The further you look, the more... This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off, smooth as ice. There are spots following your lead. The lieutenant leans in closer to inspect.
Looks like it, yes.
Welcome to the roof.
Her hair is still slick from the shower. Below her silvery jumpsuit, an athletic young body, built long and lean.
I'm sorry for the mess down there. The cleaning lady hasn't come by in days. I'm beginning to wonder if she ever will. Oh yes, legends of room number 1 have made their way around the building. They say a portal to hell has opened in there. They also say that's why the cleaning lady quit. Because of the infernum.
I am Kim Kitsuragi. I am a detective from Precinct 57. I see you've already met my colleague.
Have I ever? Have you grown accustomed to your role as a police officer? I can see that you have, officer.
Miss, we are investigating the murder of the man down there. The people who put him there have asked us to talk to you.
Oh, I see.
What could she be thinking of? It's hard to say. Her shoulders are relaxed, her eyes on the cigarette.
Yes, you're just one room away. Very personal.
Good, yes. This means she could have heard something, like what you were doing before you blacked out.
You do not need to know that. What you need is to ask normal police questions, like...
Quick, say something professional.
Clausier Amandou.
Same name that Titus gave you. It sounds Oranese. Her birthmarks also signal Oranje. You don't know why, but Oranese girls tend to come speckled with them.
Something stupid. Oranese lit. Oranese literature. It's what I studied at the university. Fear of failure, fear of death, how it sucks to be Oranese. All nothing. I do nothing with it. Cool. I've made more money by just being than I have with Oranese lit. It's not very cool, but what can you do? The record, so official. Yeah, it's pretty deluxe. I'm wintering.
How long have you been staying here?
About 4 months. I came in November. Here in the Whirling, here in Martinez, or here in Revachol. I heard this is where the washed-up disco has-beens go.
She looks at you and nods.
It is.
The lieutenant makes a note in his notebook.
Thank you. I've put a lot of time and effort into it. With money, sir.
The anti-star is, or was, a Vespertine rock and roll star who liked...
Comes in handy when you've done too many opioids.
Is that something that happens to you often, miss?
Better safe than sorry. Very funky. Okay.
Watching herself reflected in the bedroom window, torn and sparkling and draped in smoke.
Yeah? All right. It's a bit early in the morning for rape, isn't it? Yeah. I'm gonna go with not raped. I can't say that stuff about him. Tell them it's not my style. They'll have to, you know, if they want to jazz up the charges, they'll have to get someone more, rapeable.
By they, she means the Hardy Boys.
Are you saying that you were asked to tell us you were assaulted?
Not explicitly, but I understood what they meant. It wouldn't hurt to spice things up a bit. Some assault and battery. Sexual assault, maybe. It was clear the latter would be spicier. We partied. With all due respect, sir, I think we partied a little harder than that. Please, you're alive in 50. I've known people who party so hard they're dead at 14.
What did you do when you...
We drank, sir. A lot. For weeks, basically. We had that effect on each other. We made each other drink harder.
What else?
Stimulants. Speed also has that effect, making you drink harder. And then drinking harder makes you do more speed. A little. The drugs were good enough, and we did enough.
How did you two meet?
Downstairs, at the bar. He was on some sort of assignment, a military man, as you probably...
When was this?
A month ago? Something like that. Pretty much.
Warming them.
I'm 89% sure. Cool.
She sincerely thinks it's very cool of you.
He had something to do with the strike. One has been roiling since I got here. Rotten timing. But...
And his role in this strike?
I think he was in a security detail. He was ex-military. Worked for Wild Pines. And against the Union.
And they lynched him for it?
She nods.
Oh, yes. I've had a great view. From the...
A bitter cringe. It hurts. He takes a small step closer.
You called us, the RCM.
Yes.
Jackpot.
I made it. And I would appreciate it if you didn't tell everyone. In Martinez, they call it snitching.
Reporting crimes is confidential in Revachol, miss.
I didn't exactly disguise it. I just muffled the mic and nicked the landline a little. With nail clippers.
So, she's Scott's mystery foam cutter.
Did I? Fuck. I didn't mean to. I had no idea what I was doing.
Jigsaw falling into place. This is satisfying. Good catch. I appreciate that. Still, that's pretty clever tampering. Simple and clever. Crossing the lines like that.
Thanks.
She looks a bit like a little girl who's just been complimented on her bike repair skills.
I don't know, sir. It was stupid. I was drunk, too. I was probably afraid the Union was listening in.
Thank you for making the call, miss. It was the right thing to do.
I didn't want to, sir. But if I hadn't, he'd still be hanging there. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Not right now. Later, maybe. I keep seeing him. Like he is now.
I know it's difficult, miss. We can return to it later.
They're frequent guests. Downstairs, they have a booth for Union members. They're probably down there now. Over drinks. It's been a long, boring... A little.
Like you partied with the deceased?
No, not as hard.
I'm sorry to have to ask this, but have you had a physical relationship with...
I have. Which ones, sir? I don't remember precisely. Titus, obviously. But as I said, bullet? They shot him too?
I'm not picking up on any theatercraft here, sir. The pause is sincere.
They stripped his clothes and they shot him?
You mean after they hanged him?
I'm confused, sorry.
So am I. Were you aware that he had also been shot, miss?
Things are starting to go a little over my head here. I thought he was hanged. I was not present when they did it. I don't know what happened. I just know what they told me and Sylvie.
This is beginning to get confusing for you too, and we don't like that. Where was she last Sunday night?
Cowering. I was cowering downstairs with Sylvie.
She breathes a silk.
Should we head by downstairs, officer? We may have things to discuss there.
She nods. Silvery cigarette fumes disappear into her mouth.
Not my favorite topic. But how about we, you know...
She looks back. Time moves slowly. Don't worry. We will protect you from her beauty. We will consult you through the... We will see through deceits. You are advised. There are muscles on long white bones that line her limbs, just below the silver jumpsuit. The strange moment ends. It was brief.
Why not? I'll be here until 11 p.m. drinking coffee.
Looks like we have more to discuss with those so-called Hardy Boys. Half their reasoning just went out the window. Nothing will make them respect the RCM, but it will disrupt the game they prepared for us. We just stripped off one layer of whatever it is. Her decision to not corroborate their story was definitely not part of the plan. What else could she have done? Lie? She saw there was no way to lie and get away with it. If not you, then me. It was a smart move from her. You think so? Being candid is the best way to lie. The appearance of candor with some facts thrown in draws attention. She may be trying to control the pace of the investigation. Anyway, we should move.